Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, once again, it is showtime. Hi, guys. And here, Spongo, level 10, and I believe at level 12, we can start spawning wraiths. At which point, he will run away. Or maybe just set the pet on it. Login reward is available. VIP XP bonus. That is a tome of tracking. I will not need that. I just won't. Alright, here we are in the crafting area. Let's see. Pick up the sack of feed. Which quest is that again? Well, that is over here in Tuckborough. Let's see if we've got a ride in Tuckborough. So that I can be lazier than I usually am, which is a lot, actually.
Hello there.
Hello. How are you doing? Needlehole, yes. Tuckborough? No, there is no faster trip to Tuckborough, so we ride. And ride to catch up with the sun, but it's sinking. Old guy music reference. Driver benefits, swiftness, subscriber buffs. I hope everyone's Saturday evening or Sunday early morning. Well, whatever. Always getting caught up in that. Hope whatever time of day it is, where you are, things are going well. Yep. Copper, and then copper. Got more wood bits over here. Yes, I have the right tool. Just don't have the right tool equipped. Oh no. Somebody has stopped watching me. Somebody was watching me for a short period of time and now they've left. I was not interesting enough. Sad. I weep bitter tears. I have disappointed a person. Technically, I've disappointed a lot of people in my life. You know, over the years, you know. It wasn't intentional. It's just the way of things. Pick up the sack of feed. Ravenous appetite, he needs more feed if he is to satisfy. It instructs you to go to the Grange and pick up a sack of feed. I got your sack of feed right here. Oh, good. Ah, the postmaster. Ha ha ha. Screw off. We don't do the mail delivery quests round here. We have some tiny modicum of self-respect. A calling from some fool took. Might have been him, but yeah. Okay.
Mercy me, will
Bring
you
a barrel
hear
of
me out?
pipeweed to Longo Burrow. More branches. You can turn these in at the auction house, but only at the branch office. I apologize. I don't mean it, but I apologize. Polo Proudfoot.
Gracious
Protect Polo and
me,
fight
I
off
need
all
your
the
help.
bears. Oh, that's right. This is where there was, yesterday, there was a wraith hanging out here. The wraith had popped up. And somebody had either died or run away. Let's go ahead and summon up our mount. Our pet.
Dear me, please don't leave yet.
Quest sharing. I don't have to worry about that. I'm the only person here. Get him, get him, get him, get him. Oh no, there's more of them. Of course there are. Huzzah! You've defeated the bears. I got a huzzah. I didn't get a huzzah from that guy.
Dear me, what do you want?
I'll take the eggs and onion. Eggs and
Goodness,
onion.
could you help
Pretty
me with
tasty.
something?
Next quest is over there. Over yonder. But not in yonder sheer. Alright, don't start nothing. Shrew, and there won't be nothing. Alright. That's a shrew who knows his place. Ah, the methyl stage. That's methyl, not meth. It's not meth, okay? I step onto the methyl stage. Oh, just set off the fireworks, okay. Does this, like, summon Gandalf? My memory of a quest is that... No, maybe it does for, like, the anniversary or something. I know there's a quest at some point that brings Gandalf to the methyl stage. Don't recall what it is exactly, obviously, because I just, was talking about something that didn't happen, so... Yeah. Old man confused. Well, not confused, just not sure any longer. Once upon a time, I was always sure about what was happening in the game because he played it so freaking many times. Which quest is that now? That is a hidden stash. Bring the barrel of pipeweed to Longo Burrow. More copper. I thought that shrew was going to attack, but no, it was wise, and it ran away. Smart shrew. Very shrewd, you might say. Or maybe you might not. You know, that's fair too. Bear dens. Oh, goody. somewhere down here is some pipeweed, I think. There's the barrel of pipeweed, surrounded by approximately 1 million. Oh, Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. He just loves to play with his food, that's all. And now that one, Rudy, if you please. And now, how about that one, Rudy, if you please? And I'll get the barrel of pipeweed. Yeah, set to the right place. I have been getting a lot of new subs on YouTube. Thank you guys if you're amongst them. Always seems to happen when I play an older game. A lot of people discover the stream. I hope
Mercy
they stick
me.
around when I'm not playing the same game. Talk to Isilia Took. Well, they're all kind of silly, you know. Something I always concern myself about is, you know, somebody sees me playing Lord of the Rings, they like it, they sign up, and they realize only later, I don't play Lord of the Rings all the time.
How rude!
Oh, fried mushrooms, ew.
Hi there, give me a moment.
Talk to Rollo Boffin. Well, first we've got to turn in over here, too. Pardon me. Excuse me, pardon me, pardon me. Oh, look. Pet taint. Atlard.
It's terrible.
Oh, and how about the
Just
smell of your
terrible.
clothes that you fired off the rocket? Wonderful. Surely this will appease the old Took's ghost. He'll be back in a second because he's still hearing noises in there. Come on back. There's Adelard. Got another quest for me? Yeah, you do.
I'm sure it's a bother. but I
Confront
could
the
use your
old
help.
Took. It's squirrels. There's a small bookshelf. Drive the squirrel from Adelard's library. It was a squirrel. Not the ghost of the old Took. Just a squirrel. Probably the squirrel was here because it heard that the Tooks are just all nuts. Why is it not being driven? Do I have to, like... I don't think I'm actually driving it. I think this is all programmed. I've driven the squirrel. Adelard, you ninny.
I'm sorry. My thoughts were elsewhere.
Your brain was elsewhere, fool of a Took. I stole that line. The fool of a Took line, anyway. Alright, now... a couple more quests await us up here. Including our first look. Okay, your first look, if you haven't played the game, at Bag End, which is up there. copper. I don't know how much this stuff can sell for. Because I had to buy a bunch. What? Never. On the other character. To finish out prospecting, I had to buy 100 of it for 2 gold. And that was actually about the cheapest on a per piece of ore basis, anyway. Grab the stable master.
How do you do?
I mean, I'm not going to grab the stable master. That would be rude. Okay, that's another postman quest. They can sod off. And that's pick up the bad pies. That's another quest that can take a long hike off a short pier. Sheriff Robin Smallborough.
Hello there. Might I
Talk to
speak with you a
Bounder
moment?
Chubb. Yeah. Let's see. Alright, on the other side of the river, past the mill. So Sandyman's place. The Grange, Sacrifice. Do I have to carry this back live? I do. Oh my god, these. These quests just drive me crazy. There are a great many things I dislike in gaming. Obviously, way more things I like, but there are things I dislike, and amongst them are real-time quests, timed quests. Well, I'm almost halfway out of time, so hopefully he's right up here. We're about halfway done with our time. We're almost out of time. Timed quests and quests that... Yay! Ding 11! And quests that require you to move
Could I
slowly.
take a moment of your time?
Not fun. Silver 66, 3 silver 84. We'll go with the Writ Finder's Battle Gauntlets. Not that I, have any call or need for gauntlets. Did I not just accept? Oh, I thought there was... What did I just get another quest from him?
It has.
I must have. Well, there's the postman. Took. Alright, we've got one back at Mickle Delving. Back and wait. More copper. And I have a reasonably sizable amount of copper. I think that's 45 pieces. So we've got the hill, which is Lobelia Sackville Baggins. Is that the pies again? Yes, it was the pies. In theory, I like the postal quest because it requires you to walk from town to village to village to town and so on across all of the Shire and get the travel points. It's nifty for a first-time player, but after that, yeah, I can die in a fire. It's Lobelia Sackville Baggins and Lotho Sackville Baggins.
Well, the gall of some folk.
Talk to
Hi there,
Wilcom
give me a moment.
Tunnelly. And also Lobelia's
Don't
Fireworks.
walk
Talk
off.
to
I need
Hyacinth
to speak
Took.
with you.
But first, we should have another point, I think, of traits. We have 2 points of traits. By the gods. And that will give us Inspiring Rage. Sign of the Wild Rage will inspire your allies to deal more damage. 4%. It's a raid buff. For 10 seconds. 3, 4, 8, 10. So the third tier will be open to us. We'll be able to get Wild Alacrity. Companion learns to make the most of my encouragement. Prepare for War. Tactical damage. And Friend of Noble Birds. That'll get me Eagle Pets. Given where we are, I'm going to go ahead and go for Overhill to get the point there. Fat Buddy! Good evening, my friend. Hope your weekend is kicking ass, as was required, you may remember. I hate to be insistent, but you are required to have an awesome time this weekend. Don't disappoint me or it'll show up in your final review. I don't make the rules around here. Actually, never mind. Quests. Quests. A salve for
Lovely
stings.
day,
Collect
isn't it?
toadstones. Are those like toadstools?
Good day.
Search
Might
the
I have
deer
a word with
carcass
you?
near the Lucky Slingstone.
Stay and have some tea.
Collect trade goods and
Stay
no,
and have some tea.
there will be no postman quests, all right? I thought I made myself clear about this. No postman quests. You have to be stern with those would-be, won't you deliver my mail types. Trade goods. Collected the trade goods. So in my non-streaming hours, I have been back at more copper. PoE with a new character. Going to try the new hotness from this league, Lightning Strike. Once I, get there. I could have sworn I swapped tools, but I guess I would have sworn incorrectly. I would have been lying to you. Well, not lying. I mean, it wouldn't be like a matter of intent. But I would be saying to you a thing which was not true. Otho. Broad belt.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Is it? Is
Stay
it really a
and
lovely
have
day?
some
I
tea.
don't know. Is it? Back to Hobbiton. Not just yet. I am going to grab... There isn't one here in Overhill, but there is a stable master at Brockenboring. So I'm going to grab that one. copper. Much more copper. Many more coppers. Oh, this Shire white-tailed doe came running over to say hi. That's really sweet. I guess they don't hunt the deer in the Shire. I think they probably do. Although maybe that's a lot more work than they're willing to do for their food. We'll go from Brockenborns back to Hobbiton. Oh, we've got to turn in. Ponto Hornblower.
Might I have a word with you?
Defeat spear-wielding goblins. All in good time, my fine furry-footed friend.
Hello.
And up there is an interior quest. So we're going to go ahead and grab
What do you need?
ride. Swift travel back to Hobbiton. Snap, crackle, and pop. All kinds of things. My body just talking to me incessantly. Here you go, Sheriff.
How do you do?
Oh, defeat spiders. Is this it? Wants me to defeat spiders. I don't think we're yet to the mine in Scary. That's the name of the mine. The little mining town is Scary. Why? I guess because it's scary? Of course, spiders as big as me would be scary as bleep, I have to confess. Another quest in Tuckborough. Copper. I'm over 50 pieces of copper. Over there. There's whomever I have to talk to. I don't recall who it was. Evidently, Synth. Hyacinth. Hyacinth? I'm back to talk to Lobelia. Great, thanks. I got one at Mickle Delving, and back at Lobelia. Alright. Right back to Lobelia, I guess. Don't see much of an alternative for it. Oh, we got a wood over here, I think. Some rowan branches. There is, in fact, a universal tool that you can get as a reward out of the daily gifts. So that you needn't be swapping around all the time. Like some kind of great pillock. Those are salve for stings. Salve for stings requires what? Toadstones. Is that like a toadstool? May have asked that already. Toads can be found in Rushock Bog, other places. salve to protect myself from bee stings. Alright, well, let's track down some toads. By all means. We are now officially looking for toads. It's a tusker. It's a shrew. Neither of these things is in fact a toad. Bet I'm going to end up in Frogmorton. Just saying. They're specifically pointing in this area. The arrow was pointing specifically over here. A toad. A wild hill toad. Come on. Rudy. You've got to do better. We expect more of you. I don't think he had the thing I was looking for. He did not have a toadstone. Now I'm out of the toad area. Somebody binged and killed a small hill bear, a couple ones. I really do not remember the bing sound when somebody kills something in your area and it tells you what they killed. I, honest to God, do not ever remember hearing it. I looked, I couldn't find a place to get rid of it. Nope, no toadstone on him. It's not like an incredibly annoying thing, but it is a mildly annoying thing. You know, on the annoying scale, it's not a biggie. Well, Frogmorton. I'm assuming that is the mail man. Yep, the postman. I told you once. I told all of you postmen, I am not delivering your goddamned mail. Bugger off. Milo, what do you got?
Might I have a
Hill
word with
toads. Sure, I can take care of hill toads. We also have a quest inside here in the floating log inn. Not a particularly noteworthy name. Floating log. I mean,
you? Good
seriously.
day. Might I have a word
Collect
with
hops. They need those for the basketball team. A wild hill toad. I have defeated a hill toad. And I did get a toadstone from that one. Ah, okay. Oh, okay. It's level 11, actually, is when they can show up. Uh-oh. Oh, that was bad. That was completely the wrong button to press. I pressed the wrong button. God damn it. The stupid bear isn't doing his freaking job. Oh, we got him. Did we? Oh, the bounder defeated him. We don't get credit for that. I hit the wrong button. Which was the button I wanted again? Inner flame. All right. So it is level 11 that they can show up. My first one didn't show up until level 12 on the other character. So that was my mistake. I had no problem with him at all. It was easy. All I had to do was convince the level 150 guard to take care of him. Oh, hops. Frog hops. Get it? Frog hops. I didn't get it at first. I wish I hadn't gotten it now. But I did. Oh, an angry Hilton. Frog hops. I didn't remember this quest being pun-based, but evidently it is. I mean, I made kind of the same joke. I think mine was a little more clever in that they need them, not for making beer, but they need them for the basketball team. The Frog Morton basketball team. Yeah, same joke. But mine was wittier. Did I get all the toads? No, we need one more toad. Well, that's a toad. And that's all the toads we need. There's an angry hill toad over there. What does he have to be angry about? Whoop. Rudy, get him, please. Rudy, get him, please. Don't make me ask twice. I can replace you with the bear. I don't want to. But if you make me, I will. Are we clear? Hit the only deep water in the whole of the swamp. Well, I know they're supposed to bring him the hops.
Good day.
Toad's Tongue Ale. That sounds disgusting. Here, let me try it. An acquired taste, but well worth the trouble. Oh, tastes like toad spit. My fave. Bring the toadstones back to Gamerbothan. Alright, okay, what did I miss? Many happy returns is fight Lobelia the Toad. Oh, very nice. Somebody named a toad after Lobelia. I can't wait until she finds out. Anywhere around here. Lobelia. Lobelia the Toad. Scared Lobelia the Toad back to her cage. All right. And what does Lobelia have to say about this? Ribbit. Ribbit. Well, her conversational skills are, wait for it, absolutely riveting. I warned you about that one.
Just a moment.
Hornblower's hands. That's kind of dicey, but I'm going to choose those. New gloves. And another gift madam. I've seen a lot of people pronounce that word Matham, and I've never understood why. It's spelled like fathom. Why would you assume it was pronounced Matham? Don't know. I can't fathom it. I didn't have that joke in mind when I started the Fathom Madam question. It just came to me in an act of inspired inspiration. Or possibly perspired desperation. It's hard to keep the two straight sometimes. Not worth turning around going back for. This is... Welcome to Bywater, everyone. The Green Dragon, which in the movie you may remember Pippin singing about.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Collect the dwarf barrel. You know, that sounds like one I have to carry back. I'm going to pass. Something made a noise. I'm chopping wood. Back to Lobelia, I think. The lovely Lobelia Sackville Baggins. Fields where you can do farming, should you choose to learn that as one of your crafting skills. Best if you also select cooking to go with it, and vice versa. Alright, Lobelia, what do you got? What's Lobelia got for us?
It's been a foul day, it has.
Pay for the ingredients? Why, I never. Oh, suppose I must, if all her stock was stolen. Here, take these coins to that took. These better be the best fireworks the Shire's ever seen. Yeah. She's a charmer, really, once you get to know. No, not even a little. I cannot tell a lie. Actually, that was a lie. I can lie. I can't tell a lot of lies. Where am I? I choose not to lie. Good evening. Hope the weekend is going awesome so far, as I require. Require everyone to have an awesome weekend. It's just the rules. Alright, what do we have that can give me some Matham rep? Matted skins? Matted skins are in. Torn furs. Are torn ferns available? No, torn furs. It's not available. Matted furs. matted skins and matted furs. Lovely place you've got here. Mangy skins. You accepting any mangy? No mangy. That's the ones I've got. And whom do I turn these in? Not the postman. Hal Hornblower.
What do you need? Is there something I can do for you?
The up-and-comer. Oh, that sounds dirty. Let's see, we've got 12 more matted skins. But the torn furs were a non-starter, right? Yeah. And I don't have 10 of any of the other potential mats, so that is going to be it for tasks. For me, at least so far. 3 tasks.
Hello?
It's awesome that your weekend is awesome. Mine is a weekend. I make the rules. I don't have to obey them. That's one of the rules. It's not fair, but life's not fair. Just in case you weren't aware. Yeah, life's not fair. Why, look, more rowan branches. How many rowan branches do I have now? I have 40. Still only the one wraith has shown up so far. I cheesed him. Didn't get credit. Didn't get dead. The professions on this one are, well, quite similar, but not exactly the same. Prospecting and scholar, so that I can get materials for the other character. And then the third one I got was wood tracking and
Just a moment.
Forestry.
Please stay a moment.
Talk to Cam Puttyfoot in Overhill. Are you kidding me? I need to have a turn in back at the Matham House, so I'm going to go back to the Matham House. Yeah, this is my second character on Angmor. Alts. Every game, always. Lots of alts. It's just my way. I get a tiny bit bored with something. Hell, not even bored. Can't even realistically use that as the excuse. I just have a thing for alts. I have many characters on most servers in most games. Hell, even I think my number of characters in my Guild Wars 2 main server, I have 2. 2 accounts, is ridiculous. I have 38 character slots. One of them is almost always empty, and the other one is currently empty, I think. Because I'm mental. Hi, or meander through the levels, I'm going to guess. In Guild Wars 2, most of them are at the cap. In Lord of the Rings Online, I had all 9 classes at the cap at the end of the Mirkwood expansion, level 65. But since then, too many characters, too many expansions, too many other games I'm playing, that kind of thing.
Good day.
Hello.
Hello? I wonder if I can go in. Can I go into the Matham house? My standing is still too low. I wanted to hit the bank because I put a couple things aside for this character in the shared storage, and I had forgotten about that.
How do you do?
The Talisman of the Blood Raven, as an example. And a couple of pieces of jewelry. And then some of the crafty stuffs. So we have 2 earrings. And we have the Talisman of the Blood Raven. Summons a Raven companion. I guess I don't actually have the ability yet to cast the Raven, but when I do have the ability to cast... Oops, sorry. Cast a Raven. It won't be a regular looking Raven, it'll be a cool looking one.
Dear me.
Talk to
Please
Griffo
don't
Boffin.
leave yet.
Mayor Whitfoot set aside some money to refurbish it. The postmaster can, of course, eat it. I have multiple quests back in Needlehole. Do I want to actually do the Needlehole quests? Sure, why not? Why not? I'll catch a ride to Needlehole and do the Needlehole quests. Actually, let's see how much progress we can make. On our crafting. Okay, Prospector. We can make 35 copper ingots at 8 each. That's going to get us to the 2nd tier. 8, 200, 25, 24. Ought to do it. And now this character will be able to harvest the tier 2 mats. Barrow iron, I believe. There we go. And the Forester. 20 times 8 will be 160, which will almost get us there. I need the workbench. Fortunately, there's a workbench. Thin rolling boards, 20 times 8 is 160. Yeah, that's going to get us to 174, I think. And we'll do a couple of leather thingies, and that will have gotten us to the 2nd tier of this. We're still on tier 1 of Scholar, because there's no Scholar mat nodes to speak of. That's another level. I'm now level 12. We are 26 shy. These are 6 each. 5 will do. And boom. Tier 2 Forester mats are available to us. The Scholar, however, not so much. But we dinged, which gave us, ooh, Cracked Earth. Who doesn't like Cracked Earth? Time to start moving these over to, say, there, and there, and... Well, remember, that's our Healy. Cracked Earth. I should probably sell some of that, too.
Just a moment.
The Woven Cloak. We want to keep that. Sell that. We can sell that. Keep that. Keep that. Sell that. Sell. Keep. Sell. No mushrooms for me, thank you. Ew. Fungus. It's really simple. Mushrooms are a fungus. Athlete's foot is a fungus. Never eat anything that will grow on your feet. It's just one of my rules. I think it's a pretty simple one. But I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, as long as you don't actually think about it. That was a lot of stuff to sell. And now, look at how capacious, spacious even, my inventory is. It's almost organized. Needle hole awaits.
Good day.
Is it? Is it really a good day? Well, I'm going to needle hole, so I'm kind of dubious that that's going to be good. It's needle hole after all. However, it was outside of needle hole that I did my first ever real grinding in the game, which was killing slugs. And the reason was I wanted to be able to carry the name and title of Spongo Smallberry's Slug Squasher. It's got a ring to it, I think you've got to admit. Griffo?
Hello there.
Am I supposed to carry something somewhere again? Because I won't do that. I'm not doing those quests anymore. Bounder Chub.
How do you do?
Chub's helmet? No, I don't want anything like that on or near my head. I've completed the Needlehole Watch. And what is
Could I take a
Filbert
moment of your
find
time?
Daffodil? Is that his missing cow, I think? Spoiler, it does not have a happy ending. I know. Terribly disappointing. Quite the bummer. I just don't believe that Daffodil is going to make it home. We'll resummon Hey, Vorp. I'll resummon Rudy. The rootinest, tootinest pet known to Hobbit. Up on the hill here, I think, if memory serves, is where the poor, unfortunate moo cow is laying. There's a cow corpse. I'll collect the cowbell. Ooh, heavy rowan branches. One thing I can look at doing now with all of the, certainly the wood stuff that I pick up, is once I get the next tier, like I just did, is I'll be able to sell this. And it's a new server, and generally the prices are inflated. You playing anything tonight, Warp? Alright, what quest is that? Refurbishing the town hall. The money bag. Yeah. Was drinking with Conan Exiles. Pardon the yawn, my apologies. I remember dying on this quest at some point on one of my characters in the past. I'm going to try not to do that this time. I should probably be okay, unless, of course, I get wraithed again. Which I'm thinking is actually reasonably likely. Rudy, you want to get him, please? Let's throw our first cracked earth. Oh, the MMO, Age of Conan. Yeah, I played it. The first 20 levels were great. After that, not quite as much. Alright, I've got the money bag. That wasn't difficult at all. I have collected the money bag. Just call him Spongo Moneybags. I mean, I played a fair amount of the Conan MMO when it came out. But it really did suffer after you left. I believe it was called Tortage. One of the things that makes me a little bit more hopeful for the Dune game they've got coming, Funcom, same guys made both of the Conan games, is Joel Bylos, the guy who's in charge, was talking about it, and he commented how Funcom games have a reputation for having a certain amount of jank in them. And that was his words. He used the word jank. Which is accurate because over the years, as much as I have played their games and enjoyed their games, they really honestly seem to always have more than their fair quotient of jank. And he basically said that they're aware of that reputation and they're doing everything they can to avoid that biting them in the hiney. So who knows? I mean, I've played...
Please, lead me to
I
my
played a
sorrow.
lot of Anarchy Online. That was the first MMO I ever really got into. I have played a lot of the Secret World and Secret World Legends.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Yes, I'll talk to Bounder Chubby so far away. Oh, look, he's
Good
right
day.
here.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Do I have a choice, really? Talk to Ulfar. There's a dwarf by the name of Ulfar. That's a nice name. It's a good dwarvish name. Ulfar. Hello, Ulfar. Select orders. Is that back in the... Yeah, I'm going to give that one a skip, I think. Oh yeah, I played Hellgate London. It's still running, by the way. You can certainly buy it on Steam still, but there's also a private server that runs. And I played on stream a couple of years ago. And it works fine. And it's a multiplayer experience. It seemed to be quite well run at the time I poked my head in. I will also note that one of the guys who was at the helm for Hellgate London, I can't remember who, might have been Bill Roper, is working on a new Hellgate game. So I think they have the IP back, and they're working on a new game. So, knock on wood. So there's two pieces of Hellgate London news that may be, well, news to you. All right, we're in Needlehole. We can go back to Nickel Delving. Where's the pony point? Pony point. It had a lot of really great stuff. Did
lovely day,
Hellgate
isn't it?
London. But they had launch problems. They had some of their monetization problems. Yeah, I don't know if it's called Hellgate London 2 or it's called something else. I don't recall. But in essence, that's what that was what was being talked about in the thing I read. Anyway. And let's face it, I mean, looter shooters are in a much better place now than they were a few years ago. So I think you could certainly get... Oh, on the Hellgate London news? They'll certainly get people paying attention if they make a good game.
Me.
People will come. That's for damn sure. Silver 20, 2 silver. That one's easy. Okay, so we're back to Overhill, I guess. Wait. Will come tunneling. Where's he? Oh, he's in Scary, right? Bring the stones to Gammer Boffin, west of Overhill, right? Rollo Boffin, east of Tuckborough in the Stock Road. Oh, so he's in Woodhall. The deer carcass for the Lucky Slingstone. I don't remember where that one is. Oh, that's right, north of Overhill. Looks like we're off for Overhill. Seems impossible studios make good MMO these days. I'll have fingers crossed. Well, an MMO is tough to get. I will settle for, you know, a good co-op game. Although, I will say that I am impressed at Once Human. Technically an MMO, although a little bit more of a lobby co-op game. It was quite good. I will be going back to it when they launch the next season.
Good day.
Thanks. Hobbiton, I guess. But the problem is that the amount of money to make what MMO players think of as an MMO, LotRO, WoW, whatever, the amount of money required to develop one of those is like, for the same amount of money, you could put out 4 or 5, at least AA, if not AAA, games. And a couple of those are almost sure to, not necessarily become a hit, but at least hit. You know, make money. Be profitable. Whereas with an MMO, you're spending a lot more money for a much bigger crapshoot. That's why all the gaming companies are getting into mobile. And have been. It's much, much, much cheaper. An order of magnitude to make a game for mobile. Cheaper. And so you can make 10 games instead of 1 game. And have 2 or 3 of them become successful. And you're gonna walk away with more money than if you had made a more expensive game that was successful. Once Human is fun. Don't like the stalling content aspect though. You mean the fact they're going to reset? Yeah, more lucrative in the long run for sure. You mean the fact they're going to reset the seasons? Is that what you mean by the stalling content, or the fact that that one? That at first they had sort of spaced out some of the content. I know they did that for First Descendant. No, it wasn't First Descendant. It was the Chinese MMORPG. Not Throne of Liberty. That's the Korean one. The one that came before that. Terrace Land. Terrace Land had it stalled. The weekly thing they do. Well, there's sort of 2 different kinds of flavors of weekly stuff. There's the weekly stuff where they bring out additional achieves and goodies for, hitting targets, which is just a way to keep people playing. And it feels a little bit seedy, a little bit cheap, but I can understand why they do it, especially given the differences in the gaming cultures between the West and the East. As an example, there was a game developers conference, the GDC. There was a speech given by a guy named Jared Psygoda, Psygoda, in 2012. And he had been working in Chinese mobile games for several years, and he did basically a talk on how Chinese mobile games are monetized. Finding the nest. What am I looking for? Defeat spiders. I didn't find any spiders down there. And what he talks about is, whereas, say, in the West, occasionally they might bring out a new server to sort of try and juice people into coming back and playing. They bring out multiple servers every week in Chinese mobile gaming, as that motivates people to reconnect, try and get to the top. It's very, very accomplishment and leaderboard focused. And so to keep that interest high, they roll out new servers all the time. For the first week, you only get to a certain level, and you had to wait to get to max level. Yeah, that is another one of the mechanics that is fairly common in Eastern gaming. The first week, I think you could only hit level 20 in Terrace Land. I may be misremembering on the schedule, but initially you could only reach, I think, level 20 on Terrace Land. So it's a very common mechanic they
Hello
use.
there. Stay and have some tea.
Find a wild hive before the salve dries. Oh. A wild beehive. That sounds like fun. Long live the... Wait, what? Long live the queen is fine. In 14 and a half minutes. Timed quests. Did I mention how much I hate timed quests? Pretty sure I did. Well, I accepted the quest, so now I feel morally obligated. Yeah, I'm not a fan of gatekeeping like that either. Locking you out. But it is very common in Eastern gaming. Pardon the yawn. God, can't take me anywhere. As I said, the gaming cultures are very, very different. And not just between the East and the West, but within Asian gaming itself, for instance. Korean gaming, even more so than Chinese gaming, is very, very much focused on grinding. Where in the West, people complain about the grind. Korean gaming culture thrives around the grind. Is often predicated on the grind itself. Chinese gaming culture is much more winning focused, being on top of the leaderboard focused. And that's why pay to win is very, very accepted in Chinese gaming culture, is because it allows you, any person, a way to theoretically achieve what they couldn't achieve in other ways by spending money instead of playing the game. And this sounds like, well, then only the rich can possibly win, and there is some truth in that. But also, as I said earlier, because they roll out so many servers at the same time, rolling them out several times a week with a new server, is there's always the allure of this time I can finish on top. Or this time I've been saving my money up, and this time I'll finish on the leaderboard. Maybe not the top, but on the leaderboard. Where am I going? Suppose. Oh, Wild Beehive. That must be where I'm going. Oh, don't. Yep. New deed, healer. I healed myself. I'm poking the beehive with a stick. I'm now carrying the hive. Oh my god, I've got to carry it all the way back. If I had known. Hate pay to win, much rather pay a monthly fee for a solid game. Well, I mean, I don't disagree, first of all. But exactly what pay to win means also varies by the type of game you're playing. Or maybe I just have to carry it to hero. That's not bad at all. Okay, never mind.
Mercy me!
Beekeeper's robes, sure. Victory, long live the queen. A lot of people react to pay to win as if it was a single thing. And that's not the case. I think if you're familiar with Josh Strife Hayes, he streams sometimes, but he does a lot of videos on, especially MMOs. This is his primary focus. And he did a video where basically he broke it up into, I think, 10 degrees of what's going on. You know, where if you are paying for convenience, fast travel, something like that, it does technically allow you to, say, level up a little faster. And then he goes all the way into where the very worst type of pay to win, the most egregious, is PvP based game play and pay for pure advantage. Thank you for dealing. Why do you still have a ring around you? I think I need to talk to Gammer Boffin for more of that salve. Okay, are you done? Why are you still showing a ring? Thank you for... Yeah. Stop showing a ring. It's driving me crazy. I'll keep him highlighted until he's out of sight. And then I won't notice the ring anymore. In a pure PvE game, an argument can be made that there is no such thing as pay to win because there's no winning. Not sure I'm going to strictly agree with that, but an argument can be made, a case can be made. Where are we off to? Back to Overhill, all right. I mean, for instance, on a game like this, in this server specifically, if you could buy a level up to the cap of 50 right now, that would be unfair because you could use that advantage to farm up materials and sell those and basically get a huge money advantage over all of the other players and theoretically put yourself in a position to be a dominant player on the server for as long as the server's going. You're not really winning anything, but on the other hand, you do have an outsized influence and you are discouraging other people or making their play less fun because you've taken advantage of a game system. So I think that maybe, as a more general rule, if by spending real money you can make someone else have less fun in the game than they would have if you weren't doing that, I think that's a defensible argument too. Even though there's no strict winning. You are paying for an advantage that the other person doesn't have. Can't reasonably expect to do what they wanted to do. Maybe they wanted to be the top end handcrafted weapon maker in the game, weaponsmith. And they're going to work their butt off to get there, and they work their butt off only to find that somebody else is already there because they paid for advantage. You have, strictly speaking, reduced somebody else's fun. I've got a spooter behind me. Far less important in PvE game than PvP game, certainly. Separate PvE games that don't have any competitive element versus those that do, like a leaderboard. Yeah, agreed completely. Again, as Josh Drive Hayes did, I think it was 10 degrees. 10 stages where it's more or less egregious. So it's more of a continuum rather than is the game pay to win. I'm fighting spooters. All the fun old MMOs like this one had grinding as part. Yeah, but most of us were a lot younger then and had more spare time. Most of my old WoW buddies no longer play any serious MMO because they don't have time because they've got kids. So the times have changed because the players have changed to a degree. And also, the players who never really had any acquaintance with the older games, they're generally speaking getting involved in gaming on consoles, maybe, on mobile phones, most likely. And that's going to change the way they see these games as well. know, I've always been a PC gamer. Or an Apple II gamer. Or a Macintosh gamer. I did have some consoles as well, but I never would have considered myself a console gamer. And essentially, most of the older MMOs, I can't think of one. At some point, they lowered the curve. Lowered the XP curve, made it faster to level up and everything. And the reason was is they found that new players... Well, new players, part of it is probably are less patient, but at least equally so. Asking, you know, if you've been playing Lord of the Rings Online here for 17 years, and you've got a bunch of max characters and stuff, and someone new comes on and wants to play the game, and they see all of this huge barrier to being able to play the newest, niftiest content, that's a bit of a disincentive. And you kind of never want to disincentivize anyone. What's the new Eastern MMO they just had the open beta for? That one was Throne and Liberty. I did not last long. That one, to me, was even more disappointing than was Terraceland. Terraceland was about what I expected. My understanding is Terraceland, the rating, however, was quite good in. But I found Throne and Liberty, well... It overly enthusiastically embraced some of the game habits of Eastern gaming that I find appallingly annoying and awful. The cutesy gaming with lots of fake cute stuff. I don't know how else to describe it. Where it's meant to be cute, and I find it puerile, childish in the extreme. Combat at low levels felt terrible. I read that it feels better as you level up, but at low levels, I agree. I thought it felt terrible too. I must have missed the way up at some point. Now there were 3 on the that were coming. Oh, here? There's the spooters. We can get in there. There was Terraceland the first. That was the Chinese game. There was one from each of the 3 Asian gaming powers. Throne and Liberty, which has failed already in the Korean market. And then the Japanese one is still coming. That is Blue Protocol. Need one more spider. That one will do. That's all the spooters I needed. But I know I got a quest to go back in there. There's like a big one or something. Big spooter. At some point. Now, the promise for this year was that we had 3 games coming, MMOs coming out of the East. Terraceland is about what I expected. Although, again, my understanding is it's actually quite good if you enjoy raiding. Well, I should say that the rating is good. Not necessarily the whole game, but the rating is good. And I guess to a lesser degree, the dungeons. Then Throne and Liberty came out. And that one, I lasted a couple hours. I think I just did one day. I did at least 2 days in Terrace Land. I think I just did one day in Throne and Liberty. The cutesy bullshit drove me away. You have this little companion thing, and it has a literal uwu face on it. You know? I'm sure there are a great many people who will be delighted that they can have a companion with an uwu face. I was not one of them. Quite the reverse. That's the opposite of what I'm looking for in a game. Any kind of storytelling goes completely right out the window. It is impossible for me to care about any of the characters, any of the storylines, or anything when you're constantly having to interface with this little cutesy monstrosity. I'm not 8. I sometimes act like I'm 8, but I'm not actually 8. Sometimes the games I play, Guild Wars 2, for instance, they go a little bit further into the goofy, into the we're going to put a cosmetic in the game because we know it'll sell a lot, even if it completely destroys the immersion. So I mean, the games I continue to play are not innocent either. But I've got limits. And if I could change one minor thing in Guild Wars 2, just one minor thing. When the game launched, there's a lot of character customization. The Norn males have a mustache that looks like something from a cheap knockoff of a Warner Brothers cartoon. And I would be so much happier if that were gone from the game entirely. It is so at odds with every other piece of content in the game. Any attempt to try and appear to be serious, to tell a serious narrative. That one character thing. I'm sorry, Darwek. I missed your question. If you're still there, Darwek. For some reason, occasionally a chat will show up only in Twitch chat, not in the overall chat, the combined chat. So the Lore Master rework, I am running it as the pet
day, isn't it?
class. So instead of red line, I'm blue line. And then I think yellow line is shared. So you've got this. So I'm not that far into it, obviously. I understand that they yanked the permanent pets away from the red line, and a lot of the red line. There you are. That time you showed up. The previous time, you did not. Now I feel shame. I have let you down. And I'm over it. Okay. So far, I'm not very deep into it. It does appear that they've given you more offensive options with the pets, so that's good. But it does seem like yoinking the pet away from Redline completely doesn't feel good. Not that I've tried it. I mean, I'm on Redline on my main lore master, on my real account, I should say real server. But as they've been changing over, I guess it looks like I was wrong. I thought that they were doing with lore master what they've done with some of the other classes, where you choose a spec line and it's 1 point per talent point in that line and 2 in the secondary line. And then there's a third line that's always 1. But no, this appears like the yellow line is the way the old yellow line was, primarily buffing and healing and stuff. You're thinking about playing a lore master on Angmar as well, but you're real indecisive. So red line is poor man's runekeeper, or is it actually high damage? From what I heard, the damage is higher. I don't know for sure, because I didn't want to futz around with it at all on my main character just yet. Oh, I can get an eagle. All right, that's the eagle. I don't have the raven yet. Is the raven one of the other? No, it wouldn't be that line. All right, that's the saber cat. At what point do I get the raven? Murder of crows. I just want the one. Let's see. It says summons a raven companion, specializes in buffing and debuffing. Friend of small fowl. Might it be over here instead? Do they get up full time? Companion? I don't know. Not experienced at the game at all, though. Playing a few years, but you couldn't get over the random lag spikes. I have had two disconnects in the, 8 days or 9 days I've been playing, which is not a lot. That's better than it used to be. It's hard to know some of the lag. I do see lag, but I don't know if it's server lag. It's not the old server lag. I've only seen that once, where you freeze up for maybe 10 seconds, and then everything catches up all at once. I've only seen that happen once. So it does seem to be better, but it's possible I'm just, confused. I'm hopeful. That's the thing I was hoping for most. At what point do I get the raven pet? I don't see it anywhere in here. Yeah, you tried playing Warden and it was impossible. I assume that's not on these servers. Certainly Warden would be, I think, the least forgiving. At least forgiving. If you're not familiar with Warden, for anyone out there who isn't, the primary game system behind Warden is what is called Gambits, where you have 3 basic attacks and how you combo them, and then you do a finisher. So you might do a shield spear, and that'll do some damage, and it'll give you a heal over time. Shield or a heal. Can't remember, one of the two. Shield, spear, and another shield, and then execute the triple, and that will give you a bigger heal. And so you've got these 3 skills, shield, shout, and spear, and how you combo those together up to 5 different keystrokes in a row will give you a very, very different effect. It's a very complicated and interesting game system, but I can see where that would not be conducive to any kind of lag play. Years ago, when you're dealing with the lag spikes, I haven't made a character in Angmar yet. In the character select screen, I will make one suggestion. At level 11, I thought it was 12, but 11, the wraiths start showing up. I've only run into one so far. If you don't have a pet, and you're not ranged, and you don't have heals, you can get into trouble. Especially because they can spawn in the solo instances. And so, my brawler has died a fair amount to them. Melee class, no heals. Maybe if I'd spec'd into the blue line, I'd be better off. But I just like hitting things real hard. back to Hobbiton. And out of habit, I got off my horse. And then once you crack level 20, occasionally you don't get the ones that are beatable. You don't get the on-level Wraith. You get the on-level Elite Wraith who gives you an upper colonic. The oh shit runaway Wraith is good in theory. That doesn't work in the solo instances. Ain't no running away. I mean, unless you're fast enough to go to the minimap and leave instance, and it doesn't, like, tell you can't do that or anything. And also, what usually triggers them to spawn is you're fighting something. You hit something, and it spawns the Wraith. So, for instance, I was in a solo instance fighting, I think, 3 batches of 3 orcs, and so I'm down to about 40% life, and I think I'm fine. Yeah, I wasn't fine. I was fine until I really suddenly wasn't fine. That is a follow from Tillare, or Tillare. Hope that is correct. You get my spiel. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow. Thank you.
How do you do?
Yes, so I've only run into one Wraith so far on this character. And I misclicked and unsummoned my pet and was running away while I was trying to summon the pet back, and I happened to run, fortunately, right back to where there was a level 150 little town guard who, there wasn't even a shred of cloth of that Wraith left. Do we have anything now? Torn furs? Torn furs? No torn furs. Well, we don't have 10 of anything else, so we can't finish up the tasks. Oh, but we did get... No, we already swapped in the beekeeper's robes. These are the beekeeper's robes, but this is what I actually appear to be wearing. I am very stylish, as you can see. Their biggest weakness, well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say any creature, human, elf, dwarf, hobbit, or general creature that's 125 levels higher than them. Not just guards. Anything that's 125 levels higher is probably going to be a little tough on them. Alright, well, we're off to Woodhall. And probably scary. I can't remember for sure. To open up the teleport to Mickle Delving Deed, I think requires killing spiders. And so that meant hanging around and killing spiders in Scary for half an hour, 45 minutes. Would be a good starter class. You're not new to MMOs, but know next to nothing about the game. Well, if you've played a WoW or Star Wars The Old Republic or even Final Fantasy XIV, most of the mechanics and stuff will be nothing unusual. The general recommendation for the best, most straightforward starting class is the Hunter. They're ranged. They have very good damage. They have a good emergency button. And they have a speed buff, and they have mobility buffs that allow them to teleport between certain places. So they have a lot of quality of life. They have good DPS. And it allows you to live out your possibly non-existent Legolas fantasy. But you don't have to be an elf. Although Elf Hunter obviously is the classic new player experience. Pardon, Eon. It is, to my mind at least, the safest bet for a player being able to transition from any other MMO into this one. Well, if you strive to be as snobby as the elves, I believe you can buy the high elf race. Those are the ones who are the real snobs. I mean, the regular elves, they try to pull it off, but, you know, they're not Noldor. They're not the high elves. Oops. I meant to do that. No, he didn't. He's lying. Hello, Bolo Boffin? Bolo? Rolo. Yeah, I did. That's just the race you picked. Just having a crisis with the class.
Hello there. Hello there. Might I speak with you a
Search for Longo's missing wagon. 2 G's in his wagon. I have completed quests within the Shire for the life of a bounder. And, that's 10 LotRO points, guys. That's a dime. Imagine how much money I'm making per hour.
Can I take a moment
like-
of your time?
4 cents. Collect the satchel. I am not delivering the mail, you punks. His missing wagon is all the way back there, or we can go to Budgeford. What's in Budgeford? Budgeford is seeking saltpeter. Well, then why does it say I'm supposed to talk to somebody else, not this salty Peter guy? I'm going to go for that. Salty Peter. Must be a gamer, sorry. He must be a gamer, was what I was trying to say. But the joke got stuck on my teeth. Now, there are some interesting racial and class options that can be purchased for the game. There's the High Elf. And they start I believe they start at like the Siege of Barad-dûr. There's a dwarf race where you start in the basement of Barad-dûr as an enslaved dwarf.
Might I have a word
I am
with you?
not picking up the mail for any of you jerks. Oh my God, they're so lazy. I can't.
A
ride
lovely day, isn't it?
them. It is a lovely
Good
day.
day.
Defeat
Might I
wolves
have a
in
word with
Patafoot's
you?
fields. Okay, I can do that. Sure. Also, sure. Odovakar
Might I speak
Bolger.
with you a moment?
Search for the Black Rider at night. This is a quest you actually can only do when the game is at night. It's not actually a Black Rider. Spoiler! I know. I'm spoilering again. Wilmar
Stay
Bolger.
and have
Search
some
north
tea.
of Wilmar Bolger's home. There's one more quest down here. Bingo Bolger.
Could I take a moment
Defeat
of your
harvest
time?
flies. Alright, well, there's one up here. I'll do that one first. Don't even remember what it was. But I don't need to remember what it was. More copper. Tarek. You too will now get the spiel. Steel yourself. Welcome to my humble little stream of... I think I'm going to try it with 4 fingers instead of the thumb and 3 fingers. Misfunction. malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very much for the follow. And Wind Up Azem has followed. Let's try a countdown. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You are most welcome indeed, and thank you very much for the follow. Thanks, guys. Wait, did I not just... Oh, there, it finally vanished. It should be right over here, something. Don't know what it is I'm looking for. Have to talk to somebody. Alright, now I have to look. That is the Veiled Menace. Search north of Wilmar Bolger's home. Well, all I see so far is some copper. Oh, direct. That wasn't a follow. That was a sub. I don't have a spiel for subs yet. Now I feel inadequate. Not up to it. I'm a failure. I failed you twice today. First on your first tell, and now that I didn't realize that was actually a sub. Thank you very, very much. That is uncommonly kind and thoughtful. Are you certain you haven't suffered a recent head trauma? Just checking. Yes, the Lore Master rework obviously has me completely off my game. Wait, search north. What am I supposed to do? I'm searching north. Is this the one? No. Veiled Menace. Search north of... I'm searching! What am I searching for? There's nothing to search for here where there's a little blinky thing. Maybe I can talk to the bounder? No. No, he doesn't want to talk to me. I'm not inadequate? Oh, I beg to differ, my friend. I wouldn't want me to do, let's say, neurosurgery on me. I am not up to that task. I am thoroughly inadequate to neurosurgery. And the Lore Master rework. That's true, I could wing it. I have a pretty good gift of gab, of bullshit, as it were. I could probably talk someone new. I know a little bit about the bits and pieces. A couple of references to, you know, medical terms that most people don't know. Malleus incus and stapes, philtrum, sternocleidomastoideus. Those are all real things. The first ones were the Latin names for the three bones in the inner ear. Second one, the philtrum, is this little two lines, the divot that runs down from your nose to your mouth. And the third thing is the muscle that runs from your sternum to your clavicle to your mastoid process. That's the sternocleidomastoideus. I learned that stuff in junior high school. Don't ask me to remember anything goddamn useful. No, the trivia for the Mr. Snow's frickin' science class. Yeah, that's never going anywhere. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be looking, searching, doing something. How is milk the fastest liquid on Earth? Because it's pasteurized before you can even see it. Is my stream going to turn into one of these where the people attempt to pun me into pain? I have seen that happen in other streams where it does seem like inflicting pain on streamers is almost universal. Different kinds of pain show up for different... Ooh, it's nighttime. I can search for the Black Rider at night. Hold on. Or perhaps it's just because I'm an old guy. Everyone assumes, well... Dad jokes, obviously. Okay, it's supposed to be down here along the road, I think. It is night, isn't it? Look like night. Come on, where's the Black Rider? There he is. I bring terror to the skies of
The call of
Budgeford.
some folk.
Cower before me, you will face my wrath. Woo! I have to go. So long. Used to play a rogue a lot in World of Warcraft. Burglar, pretty similar. It is a stealth class. The stealth functions similarly. It does have a wider array of gameplay in that you can build it, instead of basically having 3 different DPS specs, it kind of has one real straightforward DPS spec, one that is more support in that it buffs your friends and debuffs the mobs, and then another one that has a large luck base, which is similar, I guess, to one of the WoW specs. You can certainly play it a lot like a rogue if you want to. One of the 3 specs, the red line spec, the straightforward DPS spec, is very similar to rogue.
Can I take a moment of your time?
Ding 13, lucky number. Oh, I have to look for the signs of the Black Rider. I don't want to trap him. I now have a quest for Destination Breland. That is the Postmaster. All right, where'd the Black Rider go? Oh my God, can we get that out of the freaking... There we are. Where's the Black Rider? Is he down in the styes again? Linda
Gracious
Bolger.
me.
Talk to
I
Milo
need your
Bolger.
help.
There's an awful lot of Bolgers. I don't really want to talk out of school, but it seems like there's an awful lot of Bolgers, and they all are living in the same area, in the same general vicinity, and I don't want to say inbreeding, but inbreeding. How is Mariner? I have only played a little bit of Mariner, so I didn't get deep enough into it to really be able to draw a conclusion. Brawler, I played a lot of. I enjoyed Brawler, and that was why I created a Brawler for my first character on this server. It was because I enjoyed the class so much. Mariner didn't grab me, but then I did not get very deep into it, so that's not a fair sort of statement by me. That should not be taken as any kind of plus or minus. It does. It's the mechanic it has seems a little bit peculiar. Yeah, I agree. It seems like like they got the idea from RuneKeeper, and then just sort of winged it. Whoop! Okay, they're back. The Wraith is here. Time to run. This is me running away from the Wraith, as he burned through my Wraith in a big hurry. No, not out of nowhere. In the middle of a fight. They pop up when you whack something. Could you bugger off, sir? Thank you. I would be grateful if you could bugger off. Let's see, that's supposed to be... that's not what I thought it was. Okay. Well, one thing at higher levels Burglar has is Burglar has basically a flop. Aha, got him. This time I got him. That is another chime. We got him. Has gifted a sub till array to Strider EB. Thank you very much. That's uncommonly kind. Thank you. I'm much better at reacting to server hang. See what happens? The universe. I get a kindness done to me. Last night, this is the third time it happened. Last night it happened while I was in mid-jump over a fence. And so I could get a nice good zoom in on my character's face looking like... I'm going to lose the loot too, I think. Well, we'll see. So I'm just going to go ahead and log out. So that's 3. Logged out. Now it's going to tell me that it can't even close the connection to the server. So I'm going to pull back to space and nuke it from orbit, because that's the only way to be sure. I will now reopen it. At least it waited until after I'd killed the Wraith. And I think it looked like it had moved me. I had moved outside of the pen where the wolves were spawning. So last night I was concerned that I might have died. And it is certainly still a possibility, but I have no particular reason to think that I would have died. It's cleaning up the old connection. You know what would have been better? SSG? If you hadn't had to clean up the old connection. Hi guys, awful lot of you around here tonight. Thank you. I appreciate that. You are too kind. Have I lost my chasing of the title? Tillaray has now subscribed at tier 1. That's 2. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. Let's see if that's going to be needed to cover the character's casket. No, he's still alive. No problem at all. Had it the whole way. Was never concerned. If that had happened literally 15 seconds earlier, I would have died. And once in the past... Wait, what are we looking for? I thought I'd found... Oh, wolves in the field. I still need to kill one more wolf. Oh, and this is a wolf that has delivered itself. that's the wolves I needed. Once before, way back, it would have been early in Moria, when they had just added Runekeepers. And I was working on my Runekeeper, a dwarf, leveling him up in Arid Luin. He was fighting the undead, if you're familiar with that area. And he was at 19.9 level. And I disconnected. And so that is a character who did not get the Deathless title at level 20. For those who are not aware of it, originally there was a title for every 10 levels that you didn't die. And to get to Deathless title, you had to reach level 50. What they discovered in, I'm not sure if it was the alpha or the beta, if you're an MMO player, you'll understand what happened, is that too many people refused to take any chances. They wanted that title. And the only way to get that title was to go to level 50 without dying. And that meant if you're taking no chances, you're not really playing the game. You're not having fun. You're not doing anything. Because all you're doing is, attacking things that are 5 levels lower than you and being careful to never die. So they changed it so that there were 5 titles. Instead of every 10 levels, they come at like 5, 10, 13, 16, and 20 or something like that. The last one at 20.
Dear me, what do you want?
Now he wants me to kill 8? Or is this a different person who wants me to kill 8? Remember that happening a lot for the survival titles in Guild Wars 1? Yeah. You don't want to demotivate the players from enjoying your game. And that's what it was doing. Because MMO players in particular, you dangle a title out there, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to want it. All right, well, there's 3 of us running around. We'll see if the Revenge of the Wraith occurs. I may have to drop this quest, because they just killed all the wolves. Gamers in general, you can't always guarantee how they're going to react to a challenge like that. Sometimes people are going to go, no biggie. And for a lot of people, that'll be true. But there's going to be some portion of the community who's going to go bonkers for almost any sort of title or cosmetic or accomplishment.
Is there something I can do for you? Am I to have a word with you?
I mean, I did hit level, didn't I? I should have another trait. I have another trait. What do we want? Let's see. Wild alacrity. Prepare for war. That seems pretty good. All right, I'm going to prepare for war. Who's down here?
A lovely
Bring the
day,
saltpeter
isn't it?
to Hyacinth Took. That's the postman. We don't do postman quests around here. I've got to draw the line somewhere, and I draw the line at postman quests. Veronica. I'm going to follow Veronica. Okay, now here's the question. I'm following Veronica. But am I escorting Veronica, or is she escorting me? Follow in your footsteps and make a lore master. It is a very fun class. You have a lot of different options. I mean, historically, you can do a little bit of healing. You've got very good buffing and debuffing skills. I would say that historically their strongest point was buffing and debuffing, but that wasn't by any means all they had. I would think without any sort of pet, or at least not direct pet. Maybe they still have like pet-like functions where they can temporarily summon a pet. I don't know now. Redline may no longer be fun unless you want something a little bit more pure magey. And I wouldn't suggest the yellow option, yellow line option, unless you're going to be playing in a group. And you can have multiple specs and swap between them. Where's Veronica? Veronica, where the hell are you going? Ever get to use a sword? There was a skill, and I'm going to assume it's still involved. Exactly. There was a skill for dual wielding staff and sword. I don't remember if that was just Redline or what. Oh, why am I following her? Why is she going back and forth multiple places? What is Veronica doing? Veronica? Are you just going to run back and forth? Is that all you're going to do? Because I have to say, that's a little disappointing. It looks like that's all Veronica is going to do.
What do you need?
Who am I supposed to bring the black cloak to? Show the black cloak to Fallowhide. That direction. Let me see. Let's look at the traits. So if we go to the second trait option, change trait configuration. Yes. How many pets are available? Of the sort of the combat pets, the functional pets, I think it's like 5. There's the bear. There's the walking mud ball and sticks. There's the eagle, which has a res. There's the raven, which is a buffing and debuffing pet. There's a stealth cat. I know there's that many. There may be additional ones. So here's the red line. Staff sweep. Master of the elements. Staff sweep. Staff sweep is a staff AE hit. What the hell just happened? It unspec'd me. What the... Oh, no. 2. There we go. Yes. Take me back. There we go. I wanted to check and see. These are the skills. Used to be you could see what skills you were going to get later. I'm trying to see if the staff and sword dual wield is available for the pet line. I'm not sure is the answer, sadly. Sorry, I failed you. There are also an extremely large number, don't worry, it didn't freeze up, of cosmetic pets. I mean, an extremely large number of cosmetic pets. Mudball with sticks. Well, I mean, pretty close. It does look a little bit like a long-legged turtle. Yeah, I agree. A terrifyingly long-legged one.
Mercy me!
Talk to Fogo Fallenhide. Okay, I guess she was pretending to be the Black Rider? I don't remember. It's been a while. I do remember laughing at the quest the first time I saw it. all the way in stock, huh? Well, what other quests do we have? Fate of the Black Rider. That is Taste for Pork. Trouble with Harvest Flies. It's a pretty good pet. It has ranged attacks. That's the postman. Yeah, he can always ring twice. I got his. You can always ring twice right here. Crop Scourge. Ooh, he's a special. He should have a nice drop, I think. Crop Scourge's Wings, a trophy gathered from Crop Scourge. Used to be trophies like that were used in crafting of better items, of extra cool items. In this case, I'm guessing, but don't know, that it is an actual trophy that can be used to make a trophy for the housing. It has been a while since I have run character through
Is there something I can do?
the Hobbit starting areas. I'm now in stock. The next two towns over there is Lock and over there is Barrel.
Stay and have some tea.
Talk to Farmer Maggot. Not the most felicitous of names, I have to say.
Oh, mercy me.
No, he was the guy who was pretending to be the Black Rider.
Could I
Golden
take
Perch.
a moment of your time?
Yeah, I mean, the game is dated. Certainly the character models are dated. I will say that the architectural modeling, however, really holds up. Hold on a sec. Excuse me. Back to Butchford, I guess, rather than Maggot. Yep, back to Butchford. I was talking about the architectural design work. Minas Tirith is the single best piece of in-game architecture I've ever seen. Hands down. It is a spectacular piece of game work, game architecture. I can actually show it to you, and I will remind me when I finish up a couple more quests, say. And I will show you guys Minas Tirith. Game looks pretty landscape-wise. Yeah, that part still. The character models, they're dated. No doubt about it. Some more than others. They have redone some work on some of them. So some of them are better. Some of them not so much. And here comes another yawn. Oh my god. Odovakar. Bolger.
What do you need?
Bolger's robe. Well, looks like it's probably going to be the same model as the one I'm already wearing, but it has a Vit, which gives me like 10 hit points. So. And the new one is... It looks different. I look cooler now. Haha. And we go with the cosmetics, you'll see. That is one fine, fine looking hobbit. One fine looking piece of hobbit meat. Noticed a weird graphical glitch on High Elves when you select Mariner. On the splash screen for them. Is what I'm assuming. Quarry. Well, we've got another... What is that? That's the Veiled Menace. I searched there already. What am I looking for? The arrow came from an area near the hedge gate. Actually, to search the place where he thinks the arrow came from. All right. Or their neck was a different texture or something. Well, they do have stiff necks, so that might account for it. Oh, elf smack talk. Where exactly is it supposed to be? It should be right around here. Ought to be a clicky or something. Maybe I need to be on foot. Why it didn't trigger before, I don't know, but it didn't. Torn journal. Generally speaking, Hobbit questing is slower than the other races. You do a lot of back and forthing.
Hello there. Could I take a moment
Collect
of your
journal
time?
leaves. Those are the harvest flies. That's a taste for pork, and who doesn't have that? A few pages short is the entire area. Oh, joy. Boundless joy. I am enthused, filled with enthusiasm. My enthusiasm runs over, and oh, it's getting on the floor. All right, flies and pages. Looking for flies and pages. That's a shrew. I wonder if it's a tame one. Never mind. Looking for flies. Will these wolves count towards the wolves I need to kill? I don't know. Let's find out. Yes, they will. Well, since I need more wolves, we're gonna whack wolves. Time to do a little wolf whacking. Still looking for flies. There's a hill somewhere around here that has a bunch of flies. I can't remember where. There, maybe. Oh, we got another wolf. It's a wascoey wolf. Harvest fly. Shoe fly, don't bother me. Oh, I know. Let's get even. We're going to have Rudy send a bunch of bees up against the fly. That's kind of, you know, got a certain poetry. Oh, guess who? It's the Wraith. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Rudy, I'm sacrificing you for the good of all Hobbit kind. Have a great day. You know, a Hobbit's got to do what a Hobbit's got to do to survive. There goes the Wraith chickening out. Okay, so Rudy, it turns out, cannot keep aggro on the Wraith. He's back. We can call him Rudy Jr. Got stabbed by the Wraith King and fell asleep for 1,000 years. No biggie. Yeah, congratulations, actually. Kind of makes you famous amongst the elves. You know, most people get stabbed by the Wraith King, the Witch King, they just die. The lucky ones just die. The unlucky ones, well... So, Rudy can't keep the aggro on the Wraith. We have discovered. Whereas the bear can. Well, we've got all of them, but we still ain't found much in the way of flies. Ain't. All of a sudden, I'll talk all rural like, well, we ain't found much sign of them. Flies. Oh, harvest fly. All I had to do was say that. Rudy? I need 6 more flies. I think that's the hill that has a bunch of flies and might, possibly, also have some scholar mats. Yeah, there'll be a lot of screeching in their future if in fact, they go the way of the Wraith. We have another quest over there. That is a postman. I've told these guys. How many times do I have to tell these guys? I don't deliver your freaking mail. So stop asking. I also don't pick up pies. There's an entire quest line about picking up pies. And somebody made a bad batch, and they want all the pies picked up before they get eaten and maybe make somebody sick. The Yale Height is where we used to always have to go to get flies. Do flies not spawn up here anymore? I mean, that one's down there. Used to, they were all kinds around here. Well, maybe somebody else has been fetching flies. I need 3 more. Two more. I need 1 more. Oh, look. Harvest fly. That is the harvest flies. I have murdered, tidied up the harvest fly problem. We'll head over here to stock. I think I've already grabbed the pony point here. That's stock. When I made the bad joke. Feel free to ask, which bad joke was that? Because
what do you need?
All right, across to there. So I know I've killed one wraith. I've run from a wraith, and I got a guard to kill a wraith. Did I run from wraiths twice? I think I ran from one and then came back and killed that one. So I think of the 3 wraiths that have spawned, I've killed one, run from one, and had a guard killed one. Milo?
Dear
Bulger's
me,
hooded
what do you
cloak?
want?
Or pork sausages? Well, I'm playing a hobbit. That answer's easy.
Mercy me, will you hear me out?
Talk to Linda Bulger. I'm to the next tier in Matham House. Yay, right there. I am now an acquaintance of the Matham Society. I'll have to see if I can get in. And that should be 15 LotRO points, I think. A whole 15 cents worth. Yeah. Nope, just 5. What the hell? Thought it was 15. I'm being robbed. I'm being robbed here. Technically, probably not being robbed. Is there a preview option in the cosmetic shop? Control left click. So for instance, if I wanted to see what this looks like on me, that's what I look like. And that's what that thing looks like. Control left click. If that doesn't bring it up, then I don't believe there's a way of showing it. You are welcome. If another useful one for you, I'll show you, is control either the pipe key or the backslash key, whichever you like to call it, because that brings up all of the UI elements can be moved. And then it's just the same thing, control pipe or backslash to make them go away. That was way ahead of its time. A rearrangeable UI was not a standard at that time.
Good day.
Good day.
Good day.
Good
Might I have
day.
a word with you?
Is that the postman? No, it's Bingo Bulger. Bingo Bulger.
How do you do?
Hard biscuits or Bulger. The used shoes. Companion bar was in the way of your chat. Yeah, that's one of the first ones I move. I move it to about here. Yeah, and you will find with time that just a couple of little things can really help. For instance, one that I should have done and didn't is move my vitals down here. And let's see. Rudy's down here as well. And then whatever you're targeting down here. I generally like them a little bit more where I don't have to look up because the screens are so much bigger now. It's like I'm looking at the combat. What's my health like? Okay. So I actually like them there, and you have reminded me that I wanted to move them there. It's less aesthetically pleasing, I would agree. For those who go, ew. I agree it's less aesthetically pleasing, but it's probably a little bit more functional. At least for me. Your mileage may vary.
Oh, mercy me.
Search the Yale height. I was just there, looking for the flies. Why can't you people make your minds up? Let's see. I'm going to return to Mickle Delving. Ooh. And poof. Magic. possible that Crop Scourge's wing is just a money item, which would be disappointing. I would be disappointed. I said I wanted to show you guys Minas Tirith. So I'm going to show you Minas Tirith. Now, if you're playing, you can get there yourself, even at low level, as there is
A lovely day,
an event
isn't
that
it?
occurs there. The Midsummer event. Technically, what it really is it's Aragorn's marriage, his wedding. And there are a number of quests you can do in there and such for cosmetics and the like. And we're off. Here are the walls of Minas Tirith. The party's going on. We can't go out any further than this, so we can't show you a view of the city from far away, really. Not yet. All the way up there is sort of what is called the prow. And over there we have Osgiliath. These were the gates, which were broken down by Grond, the great ram of Mordor, named after Morgoth's mace, Grond, Hammer of the Underworld. The city stables.
Gondor needs your aid.
I can get a trip up to the high stables? Well, let's just go straight up to the high stables. There are 7 layers in the city, just like in the book. Like a cake. There's the workers' tier, the soldiers' tier, the craftsmen's tier, the players' tier, the sages' tier, the masters' tier, and then the citadel. So I'm going to ride up to the top. In the middle, you have this long spur of stone that has the prow built up on it. And at low levels, you can get here for the festival and do festival stuff. I think you can still do festival stuff. We're heading up to the Citadel. And true to the books, the 7 layers have gates on alternating sides of the 7 layers. So if someone wanted to fight their way up to the Citadel, they'd have to go through gates at every level. Because it was not meant as a city. It was built as a fortress. As was Minas Ithil, which became Minas Morgul. So here is basically the courtyard in front of the throne room, the Tower of Ithilien. We have the Citadel guards. A whole lot of people kept employed, keeping the floor clean and shiny. These are the flags of the various cities and areas of Gondor. And there is King Elisar, Aragorn, and his throne. Frankly, he could use a shave. I mean, I'm sure he's got a lot going on. He's about to get married. All of a sudden, he's the king of Gondor. No longer a ranger. He's busy. But I mean, come on, a shave would not be too much.
I am pleased you could
Talk to
return
Rodwin,
my
the
city
wedding
with
planner
war
in the
safely
throne.
behind us.
There is a festival there every year, but you can go here for the marriage part at least, and I think the other stuff, the questing, year round. Most festivals are seasonal in Lord of the Rings Online, but they didn't want something important narratively like this to be just seasonal. So I think all of the content is available for it. But there are other festivals. The Halloween festival. There's a haunted. It's basically a haunted house that's been built in the basement of Bag End. So you'll note all of the kings of Gondor, and I think the stewards as well, all have statues with information. I'm not sure if it's... I think it's the dates of their birth and death, not the dates of their reign. But, you know, all of them straight out of the books. Going out to the end of the prow. There is a special achievement that you cannot get right now in this phase. There are actually multiple phases of Minas Tirith. There's Minas Tirith before the battle, Minas Tirith during the battle, Minas Tirith after the battle, and then Minas Tirith at the Midsummer Festival for the wedding. In any of the others, if I were to leap to my death down below, there's an achieve for that. They have always been very, very respectful of the lore. You know, obviously, compromises have to be made. It's a game, so you're going to have to be fighting and stuff. There's going to be things going on that, you know, don't really necessarily... aren't a direct reflection of the books, but everything has always been, to my mind at least, very respectful. So in the distance we have Osgiliath, which was the capital of Gondor, until it was, you know, captured and destroyed. Bad things, man. You can see the city down below. Note that this is all functional. That, you know, if you could fly, you would be able to fly down and see all of the NPCs and any players who are around. So this is all live. None of this is like a cinematic background effect. It's all the actual in-game geometry. How do you define float? As a wizard, I suppose I could probably do something like floating. I would jump, but I've been trying to not die, remember? So we can see the other side of the city below us. I think it is just an absolute masterpiece of game architecture. And indeed, I could float. I would just float at very close to terminal velocity. And in this particular case, terminal velocity would be quite literal. Fountain, where's the white tree? There's the white tree, the sapling of the white tree that has been planted. I thought Helm's Deep was like the best piece of in-game architecture I'd ever seen until the next expansion, maybe 2 expansions after, when they brought out Minas Tirith, which to me is a jaw-dropping piece of game architecture. We're going the right way. Think so. Helm's Deep is your favorite battle in Lord of the Rings? Well, yeah, that's the big battle, really. Sure, the Battle of Pelennor Fields, but the big one really is Helm's Deep in a lot of ways. So here again, I mean, here you can see the characters down there are dancing. The implementation, the visual implementation of Helm's Deep is flawless. It's perfect. There is. Sadly, they're a little disappointing. They brought in a new mechanic for the Helm's Deep expansion called Epic Battles, or as I call them, Epic Battles, because they never were. They were a failed game mechanic. As they tried to catch the size of things like Helm's Deep. And so, in essence, there's 4 epic battles. One takes place outside the walls, then one at the walls, one after the walls have been blown out, and then the last one in the caves of Aglarond inside. Those are instances, so it's 4 instances, but they have an entirely different series of mechanics around it. It didn't click. It didn't feel right. It was kind of it felt unfinished. It was grindy to advance because they built this whole system around it, and it wasn't popular. It just didn't seem to work. Sadly, they were trying to do something new and different, and it failed. They may have been motivated by the fact that for the Riders of Rohan expansion, they brought in mounted combat. And again, mounted combat was a failure. The engine simply couldn't support it. The engine was never made to support combat with that kind of fast movement. And it was, I think, given the limitations, it was well done. But the limitations were so large that it made it into a failure, if that makes sense. That the game engine couldn't, there was no way they could make a good game system in the game engine. It's not terrible, it's just not compelling to play it. But I think I understand why. They felt players had been expecting, when we get to Rohan, we're going to have mounted combat. They really would have been better off going, we'll have some session play where you're doing that, and that will be it. Because as a whole, the system just didn't click again. Just didn't work. As an example of a system that did work, at least I thought so, is a system called skirmishes, which were small single-player to small instanced gameplay for a single player or small groups of players, up to I think 12. And I really enjoyed the skirmish system. And frankly, what the epic battles felt like was an attempt to redo skirmishes at a larger scale, but with different mechanics, and I just felt it didn't work. Skirmishes worked. I played the living hell out of the skirmishes. Skirmishes are not in the current version on Angmar and Mordor, the new servers, but they will be when Moria is released. Moria was the expansion that those things came into the game for. So that's when they'll be brought back. And I have now ridden all the way down to the last circle. Yeah, the new servers currently have a level cap of 50, same as the original game. We don't know when they'll release the Moria expansion, which was levels 50 to 60. I would guess 3 or 4 months. I would prefer 4, but generally Game companies like to kind of keep things moving. And currently the level cap, if you're not a player, is 150. And the next expansion has been announced. And that's going to take the players to Harad in the south. It's called Legacy of Morgoth, which makes no sense because Morgoth was never anywhere near Harad. So, but the map, the game has taken us basically everywhere. You can start in Ered Luin. We've been to Forakel, Evendim, North Downs and Fornost. Angmar takes you to Carndum and so on. Bree, down here is Cardolan. That was added not too long ago. The Trollshaws in Rivendell. Moria, of course. On the eastern side of the Misties, the Vale of the Anduin, Bjorning Lands. We've been to Mount Gundabad. We've been to Erebor and Dale. Been to the Iron Hills. We've been to Legolas's hometown. We've been to Dol Guldur, Lothlorien. In Rohan, we've been to Fangorn, Isengard, Dunland, Helm's Deep, Edoras. In Gondor, we've been to Minas Tirith, all the way down to Dol Amroth. In Mordor, we've been to Mount Doom, Barad-dûr, Minas Morgul, Ithilien. We've been to Umbar, is the latest expansion, and the next one is going to Harad. So basically, most of the map is playable space. So there's an enormous amount of content. I believe any free-to-play, potential free-to-play players out there, I believe it's free-to-play. I was told 95. I'm not positive that's correct, which will take you all the way through Rohan. And I think opens up, I think 95 is where you can go into Gondor. After you go through the Pass of the Dead. So, it is still a big game. It still works. It's not without its glitches and its bumps. But all in all, it's still in a good place.
How may I help you, friend?
The Shire, back to Nickel Delving, please. 80 copies. Did the VIP thing so you could play on the new servers. One piece of advice. If you're going to do a VIP thing like that, it unlocks a whole bunch of stuff, but only for a character you play during the VIP period. So, if you're going to be looking at creating characters on another server, create all of them during your VIP and log in. Because all of the unlocks for things are not account-wide, they are on a per-character basis. And that character has to log in during the VIP period to unlock them. So that's the only significant piece of advice I have for that, is to make sure, pick another regular server and create a handful of characters over there, and those characters will have the unlocks. I believe that's a couple of extra bags. I believe it's 2, maybe 3 extra bags in the inventory. It's access to more fast travel options. As I do a series of videos when I play a game I've played for years. I will do a free to play. I'll create an alt account that's free to play, and I do a series of videos. I call it a free to play through, where I compare and contrast. And I did one for Lord of the Rings. I think it was like 19 episodes. And I got into the mid-30s. And my biggest pain points are things that are addressed by if you subscribe for a month. I think it's $15 for VIP. And that unlocks more storage space for your character. And it unlocks more fast travel options. And those were the 2 biggest pain points I found as a free-to-player. And they became pretty painful indeed in about the mid-30s, where you have to do a lot of writing back and forth, and a lot of the fast travel options were disabled. But I think I'm going to call it here. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. on a Saturday evening. Very, very much. Thank you for the follows. Thank you, Tilleray, for the subs. That was extraordinarily generous. I should be back tomorrow at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, early morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. Probably with more of the lovely and talented Spongo here, who isn't dead yet. And now I've just cursed him. Tomorrow he dies for sure. Well, we'll see. Anyway, I will be back tomorrow. Again, I want to thank you guys very much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. I'm back tomorrow at the usual time. Hopefully, you will see me soon. Have a great rest of your Saturday night, or very early Sunday morning, and an excellent Sunday as well. I'm back tomorrow. Take care, and ciao for now. Good night, guys. Thanks again.